A very good morning, children. Hope you are all doing good. I hope you understood the last topic, which is cellular respiration and also anaerobic respiration. So today we are going to deal one more topic, which is called as combustion. The topic is combustion, right? What is combustion? Combustion is nothing but the other word you can give it is burning. Combustion, the other word what you can give it is burning. Okay. So now we are going to see an experiment about combustion, and then we are going to check it with the or compare it with the respiration process. So now this is a very important topic because a question comes from this topic, that is, what are the differences between combustion and respiration. So it's very important that you have the knowledge of the combustion and as well as the knowledge of the respiration. So here now we'll go ahead with the combustion experiment. So here I have taken two test tubes here. Okay, one test tube I have fixed in this way. Okay, and then I fixed this to a stand here. Then I have taken a Bunsen burner here. Okay, and then I have taken the test tube here, and I have filled the test tube with the lime water. Okay, and now when you once come here, this one is the Bunsen burner. This is the lime water. Okay, this is a stand. These are the two test tubes I have taken, and here this one is the sugar. Okay, so now this one is the rubber cork or stopper. Right. So now I have arranged all this experiment in this way. Here I have taken the lime water. Here I have taken the sugar. So now what I am doing here is I am directly putting the Bunsen burner here, okay, on a stand so that it can reach the test tube. I am directly burning the sugar which is inside the test tube, right? So when it burns, first of all it will melt. Okay, then it will become black in color. Okay, these are the two things we can observe, right? And the third thing what we observe here is the lime water which I have taken here starts becoming milky white or into the white precipitate. Now why this is happening? Because maybe in this burning the gas which is being released is the carbon dioxide. So only if the carbon dioxide is released, this will completely turn the lime water into milky white or white precipitate, isn't it? So now this is the experiment which I have done now. So this shows the combustion. So here in the this is experiment which is we are going ahead with the combustion of sugar. So we are directly burning the sugar, and what is released is the carbon dioxide. Okay, so these are the two things which are happen, right? Now when you compare this to the respiration, then you can find a lot of differences here. Okay, one, now this sugar is very much similar to the sugar which is in our cells. Okay, and now this is burning in the presence of oxygen. Okay, so it burns in the presence of oxygen, and our body also in the cells, they will burn in the presence of oxygen. So here two differences you can make. One is the sugar is burning, the sugar is getting oxidized in our living cells, but whereas here it is not. Okay, second thing here is we are supplying the heat energy to it. We are supplying the heat energy to that, okay, external energy to that, so that this sugar is burning here, but whereas in respiration process you will not supply any thing like that. Okay, next is when the sugar burns, what happens is it is going ahead with the chilling process and then burning. Okay, that's it. Nothing will happen apart from that. But in our body, the entire process will not be done in a one step or something. It will take a series of steps to take this process. A lot of reactions will take place. Here there are no reactions. So in our respiration process, the energy which is released, okay, that will be in the form of, that will form into the form of ATP. They will form ATP and they will be saved in our body. Here nothing like that is saved. Whatever the energy is released, that is released in the form of heat, and that's all. And next is this combustion process is taking place in the absence of water, but whereas in our body the respiration process takes place in the presence of water in the cells. Okay, there is water still, the glucose molecule gets oxidized, right, and also gives energy. Here also you'll get energy, but that energy is completely, right, no, is given out in the form of heat, but whereas in our body that is stored in the form of ATP molecules, so that they can help in the future, they will be stored for the future use. And the next thing here is, whatever so only one reaction is taking place here, that is burn, and that comes out as a heat energy, but whereas in our body it will take place in several reactions, very small steps, but some number of reactions will take place so that the final products are formed. And now here, when you respire, when you take oxygen, when the glucose molecule get oxidized, right, now carbon dioxide is released. So here also you can see that the carbon dioxide is released. How can you see that the carbon dioxide is released here? Because the lime water becomes milky white. So as it is becoming milky white, we can say that the lime here, when you burn the sugar, what is released? Carbon dioxide is released. So here both of them looks like they are very much similar. So that is what is told by the Lavoisier, and he is the first person or scientist who told that combustion is very much equal to respiration. So combustion is equal to respiration. Now do you think combustion is equal to respiration? No, not by any chance. The only thing here is carbon dioxide is released, energy is released. Apart from these two similarities, rest of all are the differences. Here external energy is given. Okay, here only one step reaction is taking place, and the glucose burns and gives out the heat energy. Okay, carbon dioxide is given, right? Okay, that is the only thing what we can observe here. So rest of all what we can see are the only differences. So on the screen you can see a slide, okay, where there are some differences between the respiration and combustion. Okay, just check it out. It occurs in the living cells, right? Where is the respiration occurring? It is occurring in the living cells. But whereas when you see the combustion, it is absolutely non-cellular. That means it is not occurring in the cell. Second one is oxidation of glucose, fatty acid and amino acids to carbon dioxide and water is called as respiration. So in the respiration process, what's happening? Glucose is getting oxidized, at the same time fatty acids and amino acids, okay, they are converted to the carbon dioxide and water, and this process will be called as the respiration. But whereas if you take the combustion process, here the sugar first charts, later burns and produces heat, okay, that then flame, right? When sugar burns, carbon dioxide is released and water is released, okay, and energy also is released as a heat. So this process is called as the combustion. So in combustion here, first the sugar burns, right, and the sugar melts, that is it forms into water, and then it will catch the fire. It will catch the fire, it will burn, and that process is called as the charring process. The whole sugar will become into black color. So, and what is the energy which is here? It is given in the form of heat. So carbon dioxide is coming out, water is coming out. So it is similar to the respiration, but what is the energy which is released in the form of only heat? But whereas in our body that is released in the form of heat, and also not only heat but also what the energy is left, right, that is all stored in our body in the form of ATP. That's a major difference what we have to understand here, which in between the combustion and the respiration. Okay, so here the energy in respiration, like, no, energy is released in several steps, but whereas in combustion the energy is released at once as what? Heat. Okay, that is what we have to remember. And in this process called as respiration, several reaction intermediates are formed. That means before the final product is formed, several other products are formed in between, right? So there are some products which form before the final product is formed at the same time, but whereas when you see in the combustion, no such reaction intermediates are seen. Directly whatever the energy is there, that will be released in the form of heat. Okay, respiration, I told you that it occurs in the presence of water, but whereas combustion, it occurs in the absence of water. Okay, and here it is a controlled process. Respiration here in our body is absolutely controlled process, but whereas here once you burn it, the glucose will char and it will burn and give out the heat, and you cannot control that. Okay. Next, energy in our body is stored in the form of ATP, but whereas in combustion, okay, energy is not at all stored and also directly released into the atmosphere in the form of heat. So in our body, there are some enzymes, requirement of enzymes for the oxidation of glucose. If the glucose has to get oxidized, what we require is some enzymes. But whereas when you see here in the combustion, there is no requirement of enzymes, right? There is no requirement of enzymes. So here no heat applied for the oxidation of sugar molecules. So here in the in the respiration process, you will not apply any heat. That is what we have studied in the beginning. So you are not applying any kind of heat for the process to start. But whereas here you have to supply the heat for the process to start. Until and unless you supply the heat and burn the sugar, the process will not occur. It will be the same. But whereas once the sugar goes into our cells and all, the respiration process will start. The oxygen will go and oxidize the glucose molecule, and glucose molecule will get oxidized, and then it gives out the energy, carbon dioxide, water, and also in the form of and also heat. So all this process will occur. So these are the differences between the respiration and as well as the combustion.